Our story today begins with someone who never believed in the supernatural until one night everything changed. I never believed in the supernatural. I used to laugh whenever people talked about ghosts or strange noises in the middle of the night. But all that changed when I moved into my new apartment. It was an old apartment in a quiet building, and the rent was strangely cheap. When the landlord handed me the key, he looked at me for a moment and said, "Whatever you heard at night, don't open the door." I laughed, thinking he was joking, but on my first night, after unpacking my things, I went to bed late. Then suddenly, knock, knock, knock. I woke up to the same of 3 clear knocks on my door. I looked at the clock, 3:13 a.m. Slowly I got up and walked toward the door. I looked through the people. No one was there. I hesitated for a moment, then quickly opened the door. The hallway was completely empty. No sounds, no movement, just unusually cold breeze. I shut the door and turned to walk back to bed, but before I could take another step, I heard a whisper directly behind me. "You shouldn't have opened it." I spun around immediately. No one. The next morning I went straight to the landlord and told him what happened. The moment I said I had opened the door, his face turned pale. He looked at me and whispered, "Then it got in." I stared at him. What got in? But he refused to explain. He only said, "If you hear the knocking again, do not respond to any voice inside your apartment." And that night I was terrified. I forced myself to stay awake, and at exactly 3:13 a.m., knock, knock, knock. The knocking returned, but this time at the exact same moment. I heard another sound from inside my closet. A soft voice. A voice that sounded exactly like mine. It whispered, "Don't open the door. It is trying to get out." My entire body froze. How could something be inside my closet? Then the handle of my bedroom door began to move slowly. Left, right, left, right. At that exact moment, my phone buzzed. A message from a known number. My hands were shaking as I opened it. It said, "If you can hear something inside your apartment, do not look behind you." I suddenly felt cold breathe on the back of my neck, but fear made me turn around, and what I saw was me. Another version of myself, standing behind me and smiling, but the smile was too wide, too unnatural. Then it leaned closer and whispered, "Thank you for opening the door instead of me." I passed out. When I woke up the next morning, everything seemed normal. But ever since that night, whenever I look in the mirror, my reflection moves a second too late. Sometimes it smiles before I do, and sometimes I see it waving at me while I'm standing completely still. And now I'm terrified of one thing, that one day I won't be the one looking into the mirror.